Jai Shri Radhe, Sab Vaishnavan ko Jai Shri Krishna. Day 157 in the readings of the Dosa Bhavan Vaishnav Varta, stories of the 252 Vaishnavas. Continuing with part 1 of the story 137 of Rishikesh Kshatriya from Agra. Bhav Prakash. In Seva there are two moods, union and separation. One's interested in Seva is heightened by both of these sentiments. Part 1 continued. Hearing this, Rishikesh prostrated to Sri Gosaiji and spoke up, "O Maharaj, my intelligence is little, so how could I possibly be qualified to understand the mood of your heart? I know that whatever you do is for my own good." Thus engaged in such divine discourse for the whole way, they reached Srinathji Dwara. Sri Gosaiji bathed immediately, filled Srinathji's water pitcher ready for the afternoon Uttapan Seva, and entered the temple. He had the holy sight of Srinathji, and thereafter afforded Rishikesh the Lord's holy sight also. He became very happy and composed and sang one poem in Rag Nat. This son of Sri Vallabh is very compassionate. He is full of bliss and has come to this earth to fulfill the heart's desires of the devotees. He grants the direct sight of Sri Krishna, the upholder of the Sri Giriraj mountain, and bestows the nectar-filled gift of this path of grace. Rishikesh, the poet, now sings, "May these two, Sri Vallabh and his son, who brings joy to the eyes, always reign over my head and heart." When Sri Gosaiji heard this song, he was very pleased with Rishikesh. After he had completed all the Lord's Seva, up to facilitating his rest for the night, Sri Gosaiji himself brought Srinathji's prasadi milk and gave some of it in a bowl to Rishikesh. Rishikesh drank it in Sri Gosaiji's betak. As he drank it, he lost body consciousness and remained sitting in the betak and could not move from there. In his heart he began to experience the bliss of the Lord's form. The Vaishnavas were all a little perturbed, saying, "Oh, what has become of Rishikesh?" Sri Gosaiji told them, "Do not worry about him. He will be all right by tomorrow." The Vaishnavas all went home to their camp. An hour before sunset, Rishikesh came round and became aware of his surroundings. Sri Gosaiji also awoke at that time. He asked, "Oh, Rishikesh, what is the news?" Rishikesh spoke, "O Maharaj, by your grace I experience liberating joy everywhere, in both the waking and sleeping states. When I am awake I see you and you appear in my dreams as well. What else can I say? I am not able to amply describe what I saw." Sri Gosaiji was very happy to hear this and said, "Vaishnavas should be just like this." In this way, Sri Gosaiji and Rishikesh spent 3 nights in Nathji Dwar. Then Sri Gosaiji mounted the white horse again and rode to Gokul. Rishikesh accompanied him. Rishikesh had the holy sight of Sri Navneet Priyaji at the afternoon Uttapan Seva period. He stayed that night in Gokul. In the morning, Rishikesh asked Sri Gosaiji for permission to return home. Sri Gosaiji said that he would let him go after the Rajbhog Aarti. After bathing, Rishikesh stayed in the temple up till the Rajbhog Aarti. After settling the Lord down for his afternoon nap, Sri Gosaiji came and sat in his betak. He and all of his sons then partook of their prasad. Sri Gosaiji gave Rishikesh a plate of their leftovers and then comfortably sat on the cushions in his betak and partook of pan leaf prasad. When Rishikesh had finished the Mahaprasad, he came and paid his respects to Sri Gosaiji and asked to take his leave. Sri Gosaiji asked his personal servant to bring one of his worn or prasadi upper garments. Rishikesh then asked Sri Gosaiji to tell the man not to bring it. Sri Gosaiji asked Rishikesh why he had done this, and he replied, "O Maharaj, I have not been able to serve you in any way at all. I have only given you more expense by giving you this horse, which will require a man to look after it. Your store will have to bear the costs of feeding it. Oh, what can I do? I know nothing and am capable of nothing. You, on the other hand, know the secrets of everyone's heart." Sri Gosaiji was pleased by Rishikesh's humility and told the servant not to bring the scarf. He called Rishikesh close to him and put into his hand a little of his chewed pan leaf parcel. When Rishikesh ate it, he felt great joy. Rishikesh bowed low to Sri Gosaiji and took his leave most lovingly. Sri Gosaiji's heart filled with emotion when he saw Rishikesh's love and thought, "If I always had such a Vaishnava close to me, then my heart would be constantly filled with love for the Lord day and night." Rishikesh went on his way. He arrived in Agra the next day. Rishikesh went to see the horse trader. He said, "If it is okay with you, I will now take the other horses from you. I will go and sell them." The trader said, "Yes, if that is what you want to do." Rishikesh took all the horses to King Toramal's army and sold all of them. He went back to the trader and gave him the 4,000 rupees he had earned from the transaction. The trader was very happy and asked Rishikesh to claim his commission. He said, "Please also take one horse from me." Rishikesh replied, "I have already taken one horse, so now please just give me my commission." The trader said, "I had really no idea that you had already taken one horse. Anyway, what does it matter? You have done so much for me. Please now do take one more horse and 200 rupees from me." Rishikesh accepted the offer and came away from there. He then came to the Seth, from whom he had taken the saddle. He asked Rishikesh if he had brought back the saddle. Rishikesh replied, "The saddle has gone. Please tell me how much you want for it." The Seth said, "Why did you sell my beautiful saddle?" Rishikesh told him, "I did not actually sell the saddle." The Seth asked him what he had done with it. Rishikesh recounted, "One trader had brought me 2,000 horses. Amongst them there was one very beautiful white horse. I put your saddle on it and took it to Gokul, where I gifted it to Sri Gosaiji. I also sold the rest of that trader's horses. He gave me 2 horses and 200 rupees in return. One of those horses is the one that I gave to Sri Gosaiji. The other horse and the 200 rupees I have brought to give you. Please accept them. I will earn more and give you more if you so require." When the Sethji heard this, he pondered. He donated the saddle rather than keeping it for himself. What can I therefore demand from him? He accepted the horse from Rishikesh, but returned the 200 rupees to him and said, "You don't have much to eat at home, so I would like to give you back those 200 rupees. I am taking the horse in return for the saddle. Please do not repeat this behavior. I am letting you go for now, but I might not next time." Rishikesh took the 200 rupees home, feeling quite content. Bhav Prakash, here it is taught that an embodied soul should take whatever steps necessary in order to serve the Guru to the best of their ability. Part 1 continued. Rishikesh pondered. All of this has happened by the grace of Sri Gosaiji. I didn't even have a penny left at home. This act of selling the horse went perfectly, plus I have 200 rupees over. However, these 200 rupees really belong to Sri Gosaiji. I should not use these for my household expenses. Thinking in this way, he tied the money into a little bundle and left home for Mathura. The next day he came to Gokul and had the holy sight of Sri Navneet Priyaji at the time of the Rajbhog Aarti. He felt very happy and sung one Leela Kirtan in the Sarang Rag. Sri Krishna, the remover of all sorrow, is holding some lovely butter in his hand. The Vraja ladies are enthralled to see him. As they look at him, their hearts are filled with happiness. When he sees his reflection, he laughs. The collyrium in his eyes looks so pleasing. The poet Rishikesh now sings, "My heart is stuck on his beauty, which no words can amply describe." He sang this song when Sri Navneet Priyaji afforded him his experience of this vision. After Sri Gosaiji had settled Sri Thakurji down for his nap, he came to sit in his betak and Rishikesh gave him the 200 rupees. Sri Gosaiji said, "Oh Rishikesh, what are you doing? You have a hard time making ends meet, so why are you giving me so much?" Rishikesh replied, "Maharaj, this is all, in reality, your money. It can only be a donation when one gives something of their own." Sri Gosaiji asked Rishikesh how he had come by the money, and only after knowing which he would accept the funds. Rishikesh told him everything and said, This is only the commission for what I did. You should be kind enough to accept it." Sri Gosaiji told his personal attendant to put the money into the Lord's store. The attendant did so. There were 2 days left before the Vasant season celebrations. Sri Gosaiji asked the store manager, Champa Shankara, to spend Rishikesh's entire 200 rupees on arrangements for the Vasant and the Dol Utsavas festivals. Champa Shankara spent the 200 rupees on such ingredients and kept them ready in his store. We will pause here in our reading today and continue tomorrow. आज के आनंद की जय, सब वैष्णवों को जय श्री कृष्ण, जय श्री राधे।